Hello, my lovely community and tarot lovers. This is Maje. This is your Tarotpolitan community host. And today we are going to do a tarot analysis on the Jeffrey Epstein files. What is happening with them, and if they will be fully disclosed, and if we will know anything else about it. But before that, recently I heard a couple of attorneys on YouTube talking about that the videos that the FBI got about Jeffrey Epstein, that there are a lot of files and a lot of things, and that the public want to know that. I believe that the public doesn't want to see the videos. They don't care about the videos unless you are as sick and as evil as the perpetrators. What the people want is justice for the victims. And by having justice and removing these people from the social life, we will save our children. We will protect our children. So this is a very important true crime case with international reach. I have so many questions about this case that I just want to get on with the reading. So let's start shuffling the cards. Okay, so we have in the opening, we have the overall energy of this reading. We have all major arcana. We have the Hanged One in the past, the Wheel of Fortune in the present, and the Temperance in the future. This is all major arcana. This is, I would say, like, this is one of the most important cases of, God knows, it implies a lot of things. One thing that I definitely notice is justice, information, anything related to this case is being delayed. Whatever excuses they are putting on the government about this, I don't believe it, because the Hanged One is there, and the Hanged One is being a delay. They holding things back, and this has been going on for such a long time. So the files that we know now is one thing, but what is been happening for decades is a completely different thing. And the Hanged One in the past represent that represent this stagnation of things. Then in the present we have the Wheel of Fortune, so anything can happen, really. We are not still in control. The Wheel of Fortune is, the wheel is moving, and it could land here or land there, or it could stop here or stop there. It's out of our control. We definitely see in the present a new beginning. I would say like a new chapter about Epstein files and the revealing of these files. We are definitely in a new chapter, but we don't know what is going to happen. It can happen anything. And then in the future we have the Temperance. The Temperance here is communication, emails, because people are talking about the videos. We are not interested in the videos. We are interested in the information, which information Epstein had in his computer, in information. The Temperance is internet information, is information that it has been through emails, through messages, through social media apps, all this information. And I will say that some information will be revealed for sure, but I don't think everything. I don't believe so. We will see that in the reading. But let's have a look at the total number, because we have a 14, 10, and 12. 24, 26, 36, 9, the Hermit. This is what I'm saying, the Hermit. And the Hanged One here talks about something that is very slow, that is been going on for many, many years, more than what we're thinking. That implies many, many things. This is a whole process, and I think we're just starting to reveal things. But for sure, I would say that at least something will come up, especially in the next months. But I would say that it's little by little. It's not something substantial. It's something almost ethereal. Now, let's have a look at the first question that I have. Apart of the names that we know that have been somehow involved, the names are there, but there have not been any other detention. Jeffrey Epstein unalive himself. Ghislaine Maxwell, who is currently in prison. But we haven't had any more names. And we have high names that have not been even investigated that we know. And there is politicians, presidents, attorneys, famous lawyers, monarchy. We have a lot of things going on there. But what I will say is there coming more information about perpetrators? Who are them? Okay, here we have the Page of Wands. This is a young person with the element of fire, and the element of fire is very sexual. And here we have the Ace of Swords. People related to militaries, people related to intelligence, people related to law, to the court of law. There is new names coming for sure. And then we have the King of Cups. This is another male, important male involved, but this is, I will say, that this is in arts and entertainment that we maybe know in the next 4 to 5 months from now. There is being abuse. Yes, we have victims here. We may have also new victims coming up, new victims coming forward. The Ace of Swords, this is people that I would say that there is speculation and information around that, but because we don't have a figure, we have the ace, we have the instrument. I don't think it's people that we will know who they are. But they are prominent people in those areas that I told you, intelligence, militarily, law, direction, and all these areas. But we'll definitely know names involved with entertainment, with art, with music, with these things. Even authors, famous authors, artistic, creative people. This I think they're gonna throw in the bus to give the public some names. As you see, there is not much going on here. 4, 5. Here in the numerology we have 0, 4, the 4 of the king, and the 1 from the ace is 5. 5 is the high priest, and the high priest in this social hierarchy is somebody with a very high status. If we don't know more about this case, or nothing else is being revealed, or nothing else happened, is because obviously high profile people and organizations, international organizations, are definitely involved in not revealing this information. Now, let's have a look at the next question. Who is and have been for many years obstructing the course of justice in order to detain Jeffrey Epstein and his associates? We have the 7 of Pentacles, the 4 of Cups, and the Magician. And the total number is 12, the Hanged One that we saw in the opening. Here is people from business. Here is people who definitely got money and resources with the 7 of Pentacles. Banking, business. But also, I definitely have people who we actually know. They are public figures. The Magician is there. The Magician is a showman. The Magician is there who teach, who show something. The people who are actually stopping the court of justice for so many years, because we have the 12 again, the Hanged One. So many years, they have definitely influence. The Magician is a high influence archetype, is a major arcana as well. But we have also people who are not in the court of justice, or that we don't know, because here we know that some people, they are up front, out there. But there is also people who have a lot of resources. But funny enough, there is a lot of people in entertainment, media, a lot of people in that area. And that follows my next question. Why is the mainstream media downplaying the people involved, the names that we know, or even suppressing information about these files? Okay, we have double Earth with the 4 of Pentacles and the 9 of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords. Here we don't have just people with money and power. Business people, the 4 of Pentacles. Business people, 8 of Pentacles. People who also got powers. Here we don't see them, but we see their power. But what is funny is the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is somebody who, like I said before, or is in intelligence, or is in political roles, important political roles, and with all this power and all these resources, definitely, and because we have the Ace of Swords here and the Queen of Swords here, this is people who are inside the system, and they are suppressing or telling mainstream media what to say and not to say about this. Why the media is suppressing names and suppressing information and downplaying names? Here we have the Four of Pentacles, the Queen of Swords, and the Nine of Pentacles. This is all because they have been paid, obviously. Business people, people with money, with a lot of money and resources. But these people who suppress, they could be in government bodies. They could be having the Queen of Swords represent law, represent intelligence, represent legal matters as well. So they are in the internal governments, whether it's law, whether it's politics, and also people that we don't see, but we can see their power. The Four of Pentacles, this is people who with business, with a lot of investments in mainstream media, and also people with a lot of resources. But what is crucial here is this Queen of Swords, and we have the Ace of Swords before. This is people who are inside the government, who are, and I would say that even currently, because the Queen is coming in the present, it's not coming in the past or in the future, it's in the present. So this is currently happening. There is not any, I wouldn't say that there is an improvement from one party to the other. And now let's count. 9 and 7 is 16, is the Tower, and the Tower is under any cost we will suppress and we will defend, or we will close down this information under any circumstances. They must be putting a lot of pressure. Okay, the next question. Obviously in these files there is perpetrators and there is associate, who also or perpetrate or form part of the ring. We have women. We have the Ace of Wands, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Fool. And here we have 3 and 1, 3 of the Queen and 1 of the Ace is 4, and 4 is the Emperor. The Emperor is another hierarchical role figure, also an archetype, and the archetype of a powerful man, of an alpha man, of man with business and with absolute power. And here we have the associates. There is all sort of type of associates. We have females, we have obviously males, and we have people who are travelers, who are the ones, the Fool here is people who bring people from one place to another. Let's say the mules, especially the ones who traffic. So definitely here we have and young people and children and everything. But here we definitely have power and powerful women. Look, with the Ace of Swords and the Ace of Pentacles, powerful women with money and resources who follow some sort of direction, and very powerful men who direct these people to commit these crimes. Okay, from all the big names that we have, my next question is about public figures that we know. From all the names that have came up, like Prince Andrew, like Clinton and Trump, they're sewage, tech moguls. When are these people are going to be investigated? We will have any information about these big names? Is anything going to be done to them? We have the 3 of Pentacles, the 9 of Wands, and the King of Pentacles. And the total number here, 4 from the King, and 9 is 13, and 13 and 3 is 16. 16 is the Tower. I don't think we will see much unless something really drastic happen in our societies. Unless something very, very drastic happen, I don't think with the 9 of Wands, these people are very well protected. They will do anything to protect their names, to not be investigated, to to show any sort of confirmation that they were involved, if they were involved. But I have here triangles. These people are not just individuals. This is groups of people with money and power, and the King of Pentacles with a lot of money and a lot of power. But we have the Nine of Wands, like they will sacrifice anything to keep these names underrated. Whether I don't see confirmations. I will see a confirmations if something drastic happened in the court of law, in society, in politics, or if something drastic like that happened, we will may see confirmations and investigations and things. But these higher people that I just mentioned, they are untouchables, unfortunately. Okay, my next question. Who other high-ranking public figures are involved? Okay, we have two pages, the Page of Swords and the Page of Cups, and we have the Eight of Swords. Again, we're coming back to the swords that we saw before. Look, the Queen of Swords, the Page of Swords, the Eight of Swords, and we have this triangle, no? This very angular position. So the Page of Swords, these pages here are the young people who has been abused. And the public figures, the high-ranking figures are in militarily, like I say before, intelligence, militarily, law, in all these areas. But one thing that is coming up as well is in the entertainment or Hollywood or music. In all these areas as well, we may gonna be able to see some names coming up. But what I see here, in the sensation I get, that these people are really shitting themselves. They are really scared of the outcome for the future. The perpetrators, these high-profile people, are very scared, but unfortunately I think they will do anything to cover themselves up. Which connections to the court system are there? Oh my God, we have the Justice and the Judgment in the same line. There is a lot of people involved in this. If we knew everything, we will be shocked, because higher up people, and I'm telling you, male, females, any sort of role, any sort of position, it will be actually very disappointing to know. Very, very disappointing to know. With the Five of Cups here, and the total here, 28, 30, 33, 6, 6, the lovers, people. A lot of people involved, from the lowest to the highest, but a lot of people in the higher realms at the top, very much involved. These even people who are now saying, or they have said in the past, or they will say in the future, that this is awful, this is horrible, these are devil. All these people that they are now publicly criticizing that are actually, I don't want to say all of them, but few of them or many of them are involved in this. Even the ones who are condemning these crimes. Now, I want to ask, which connections to intelligence in institutions or powerful organizations are there? This is big, my friends. And we have all major arcana, and it reach intelligence and powerful organizations internationally. We have the Chariot, the High Priestess, and the World. This is international reach. If we think, maybe the CIA, FBI are involved in this, for sure. But even intelligence, international intelligence. Look, the Chariot historically is linked to militaries. It's linked to show off your power. So definitely this is not intelligence. This is also the industrial armamentistic organizations. Then there is also, with the High Priestess, a lot of hide information. Information that I don't think we will be allowed to know, and not now and not in years to come. There is a lot of secrecy, militaries, secrecy, and then the world, what is this international reach that I'm talking about. And these intelligence people are obviously with the Justice and the Judgment, so they are inside the governments, they are inside the court of law, they are everywhere. Not only international, but everywhere. And that obviously brings me to the next question. Which international organization, powerful organizations, are involved in the Jeffrey Epstein case? Okay, we have a lot of hierarchies here. We have the Empress, we have the High Priest or Pontiff. This is the archetype of a religious figure, of a leader, of someone leading a church or a faith or a conviction. It marks social structures. But the Empress here is interesting that is there. International reach with the Empress. The Empress is communication. So these international actors that they are involved in this, with the Five of Wands, they create a lot of problems. And the Five of Wands and the Chariot, this is about wars. These people are ready for wars. And they use certain communication, certain information that they transform. They hide certain information and they put forward other information because of their own agenda. And then we have the High Priest. So they also use religious symbol. They use a lot of things. And then we have the double five. The double five are a lot of difficulties. The double five are crises. In international organizations, they are very good at creating crises anywhere else or in certain areas. But we have the Empress here, and the Empress here is also a powerful figure, but the Empress is about communication, because the Empress is the archetype of the mother. We learn our mother tongue from the Empress. So this is about, these organizations are definitely using communication in very powerful ways. And the total number here is 13, the death. The wars, the death, is very well connected to that. International armamentistic armies, that they use communication in certain ways, that they use certain symbols in a certain way, and that they are very dreadful. And they, I would say, like, they make sure, you know, it's almost like they create a lot of problems and death, because the death is there. My next question is, why are these files sealed for so long? Okay, we have the Star, the Four of Wands, and the Wheel of Fortune. Actually, what we know about these files is nothing with what the magnitude and the caliber or the extension of what really is. If there were human beings in another planet, it will reach that planet for sure. And what we have with the Four of Wands, I would say, like, here they are defending something. And actually the Five of Wands here, the fire, I would say, like, this involves the armamentistic complex, really. Is something about that very strong. And with the Wheel of Fortune in the future, there is being a succession. For many, many years, there is being a succession. You know, the perpetrators and their associates and these other powerful organizations and high-profile people and low-profile people, they relevate. So when one is out of place, they put someone else. The Wheel of Fortune is like they renovate. I don't think by stopping Epstein, this has ended, but for sure they are slowing and sealing and very secretive about these files, because this is an ongoing process. This is keep happening, keep going on. They have sealed it, and it's so secretive because there is people currently taking the role or the position of Jeffrey Epstein. This is not dead. This is not a dead end, for sure. Okay, and who are they protecting? Look, the Strength. We have the Ten of Cups, the Strength, and the Emperor. The Emperor has already been coming up in the questions before. But what we have is they are protecting people that if we know them, you will think that this is a very normal person with family, with a life. They are not monsters. This is actually normal people, your neighbor, people with families and with what seems a normal life. So, or whether Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, or people who really, they have a massive shadow. So they portray these family people very strongly, but actually these family people are the ones committing these crimes. And they are protecting with everything. When we have the strength there, the Four of Wands here, they are protecting these people with everything they can. They are very well protected. And who they are protecting? The Emperor. Powerful people, people that who are on top. They're not going to protect the little ones. And I would say that Jeffrey Epstein or Puff Daddy or any of those are just pawns in the chess table. And the total here is 10, 20, 24, 25. 25 is 7. 7 is the Chariot. Here is people who are at the very top of everything in society. And I would say the Emperor represents Mars and represent martial people, people who are involved in wars, who are involved in armament. These are very prominent people that they want to protect. Another thing that I want to ask is, will be there more arrests, lawsuits, or consequences, and when? Okay, we have another 2 5s, the double 5, 10, the Wheel of Fortune, and we have the 5 of Pentacles and the 5 of Swords, and the Knight of Swords. I would say that there is definitely an investigation going on, but with the 5 of Pentacles and the 5 of Swords, and I think it's a bit weak. I think if there is more detentions, lawsuits, or anything like that, will be very small people, very little people, or people who are not like really high profiles. The Knight here could be somebody that we know, but is not like a high-ranking official or anything like that, or somebody famous or popular. I think they're gonna put forward some associates, but the bigger perpetrators I don't see here. And to be honest, for at least 7 to 10 years, I don't think we're gonna know much. Little, or maybe they will throw under the bus somebody to appease the public and what they want to know about this case. And we have the number 8 as a total. The number 8 in this tarot is the Justice. I think some investigation and some detentions, yes. But I don't see here big profiles. Another thing that I want to ask is about Ghislaine Maxwell. Will she reveal, accuse? Will she say anything else? Will she give any information? Total silence. Total silence, because we have the 4 of Swords in the future. The 2 of Cups, the Moon, and the 4 of Swords. For Ghislaine Maxwell, what she want to keep it was Jeffrey Epstein and myself, and I've been punished more than him. I don't think she's gonna bring any names, and if she bring any names, we don't trust her, because she got the Moon. She doesn't have good intentions. If she mention anybody else in the next years or month or years to come, it will be low profiles, but I would say that Ghislaine want to keep like it was Jeffrey and myself, and that's it. And the 4 of Swords in the future is silence, is complete silence. I don't think she will get involved in revealing anything about Jeffrey Epstein or this case or any other names or any other thing. I don't think so. It's not silence, complete silence. And if she say anything, it's confusing or not really substantial. Another thing that I want to ask, any other victims will come forward, because I think this is very important. Yes, other victims will come forward. Absolutely, yes. And we have 2 queens, the Queen of Cups and the Queen of Wands, and the Death. Here, what is funny is that we will have a couple of more people coming up, I would say. Testimonials, accusations, and I would say in the entertainment as well as people who have really suffered the consequences of the abuse. But also, we will know, a part of Virginia Giuffre, we will know about the passing of other witnesses and victims. Fortunately, I have the Death in the future. The Death coming from the Four of Swords. Silence, silencing. Okay, what I have is the silencing of witnesses and victims. And here we have 3, 3 and 13. This is 19. This is the Sun, children. The thing about sexual abuse victims, when it happens when they are very young, it's very, very difficult to talk about it unless you do therapy or unless something else happening and you are in therapy or you're doing something about it. That's why I always recommend people, if you have had sexual abuse as a child, please talk with someone you trust. And there is organizations that protect you, that help you. So come up, because what I see here is also children that have been abused and they coming up when they are adults. And also, like I said before, the silencing of witnesses and victims, for sure. Okay, so I think I have come up to the end of this reading. Please, 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 if you have any questions that you want me to raise in another video with another reading, I'm very happy to do that. Just put your comments. Let me know your thoughts about this reading. Let me know your thoughts about Jeffrey Epstein files, if they are going to be undisclosed or not, what is going to happen. And just to mention to you that I have done a video about the analyzing of Virginia Giuffre. I have done another video, another reading, looking at the energies and what happened to Virginia Giuffre. So stay tuning and watch this reading that is very, very interesting. And thank you very much for watching, for commenting, for subscribing, for sharing this video, for supporting Tarotpolitan, for being part of this community, also for liking, of course. And I see you all in the next video. Mwah.